Very hard to get this. It's exactly true, but very hard to see, because what happens is we're children, we're in an overwhelming situation, we separate a little part of ourselves off to one side and go, now look, something's happened and I nearly got destroyed. I'm not saying you did actually nearly get destroyed, but that's the way we kind of think as kids. I nearly got destroyed, because everything for a child is life or death, because their life is very short. Like if you say to somebody in their 60s, well, yeah, this is the way things are now, but in about a year it'll be better. Person in their 60s will go, okay, well, that's not that long. You say that to a 1-year-old child, things are bad right now. In a year it'll be okay. They go, a year? That's my whole life. I've got to live my whole life again before things are okay? It seems like an impossibly long period of time. So things are very charged for kids, plus everything is new. So they're in a situation, and it can be extreme. It can be a case of, yeah, they are going to get destroyed if they don't figure it out pretty fast. But at a lesser degree, you see, from a kid's point of view, love and food are kind of the same. If they don't get the love, they're gonna wither. So from a child's point of view, love and attention from their parents, primary caregiver, it's very important. So we separate a part of ourselves off to one side and we go, look, you have to make sure I never do this again, because I just did this thing and it nearly got me destroyed because my parent was angry with me. The parent who is my source of nourishment and safety, well, they were annoyed at me. So the thing I was trying to go to for safety is actually the thing I'm trying to run away from as well at the same time, which is melting my little brain. So I want you to make sure, let's say it was about being adventurous, that the child decided that they were being adventurous and that was the reason they got smacked, or they got shouted at, or they got neglected, or whatever. They go, I must never be adventurous again. It's obviously fatally dangerous to me. I'm making light of this, but from a kid's point of view, it's not light. So this separated part of us is off to one side, making sure that whenever we feel adventurous, we also feel very anxious, and we are trying to get ourselves, that part is trying to get us to stop being adventurous, because we know we've told it that being adventurous is dangerous, very dangerous. Now, I'm saying adventurous, it could be anything. It could be happy, it could be funny, it could be cheerful, it could be affectionate. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't judge it. It just decides on, oh, this is the mistake I made. This is what caused the problem, and I have to stop. I have to make sure I never do that again. And it works. We get through our childhood. We survive the irrational parent. We survive the difficult childhood. But the thing is, because we program this part of ourselves, we separate ourselves out in this way when we're kids and we have no idea of time, we don't know to put an expiration date on it. We don't know to say, do this until I'm 21 and then you can stop. It just keeps running over and over and over again. So we're 45 and we just can't do anything new. Anytime we want to go on a holiday, we're panic attacks. Anytime we want to move house, we're a mess. And that's because the program is still running. It's like, ooh, this holiday feels a bit adventurous. I don't know about this. Danger, danger. So it's nice to understand it, but it's not that easy to get it to stand down from red alert, because as adults, we have the benefit of experience. We know that a year is not that long. But that part of us doesn't. That part of us was charged with life or death programming. I must never be adventurous. Okay? As adults, it's hard to work ourselves up into that kind of level of energy, intensity. And that's why a lot of cathartic trainings or cathartic workshops, part of what they're doing is getting us back to that level of intensity. I'm not saying that re-experiencing that kind of trauma is the way to go. It's not necessarily. But that's why they work, and that's why they need to work. But I've found that a more gentle approach works. That number one, understanding what's happening. I'm going on a holiday, I feel super anxious. You know, that part of you is still there, it's still off separated, and you're kind of helping it to become part of the fold and the inside again. So you're kind of going, well, number one, the main thing to convey to these parts of us is, I survived. You did a great job. I made it. Everything you did helped me survive my very difficult childhood. And have a sense of kind of gratitude, which is not easy to do if you have been looking forward to your holiday, for example, for 6 months, and now you're having a panic attack in the airport. It's a bit hard to feel grateful. Mostly you'll be feeling, what the hell is wrong with me? Why am I having a panic attack? I'm going on my holiday, it should be great. So it takes a bit of distance, but to be grateful and go, I survived. And then it's almost like taking a small child who is afraid and showing it how being adventurous, because that's the example I used, is not dangerous anymore. It might have been, but not anymore. And you can demonstrate little examples of where you're being adventurous and it's okay. Nothing too bad happened. And you're continually going, isn't it great that I survived? And I survived because you helped me to survive, and that's brilliant. But it's in the past now. I don't need to be on such high alert for adventure. And let me show you. Let me show you how that's not necessarily the case. And you can kind of go, see there now, I was a little bit adventurous and nothing terrible happened. And that part of you go, yeah, okay, and it begins to slowly stand down. So it starts with recognizing it, recognizing the dynamic, being grateful. Thank you for helping me survive. I survived, yay, have a little party. We all survived our terrible childhoods, yay! Clap yourself on the back, you did great. And now it's a process of new information. I can be adventurous, I can be happy, I can be loving, I can be all these things, and nothing terrible is going to happen.